Hi, today I'm going to go over a very brief review of using the order of operations to calculate some of the most commonly asked for types of calculations in Psych 107. In previous schooling, you probably learned the order of operations as PEMDAS, which stood for parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. But for our uses, it's going to be a little bit easier to think of the order of operations a little bit differently. It's going to be similar, but there are going to be some differences. Okay, so the useful order of operations for the purposes of our class will be parentheses, squaring, which of course does fall into the category of exponents, but in introductory psych, we're never going to encounter an exponent any higher than 2. Next, we have multiplication and or division, moving from left to right. After that, we look to see if there is a sigma, the summation symbol. And then finally, we carry out any addition or subtraction. All right, so now that we've covered the order of operations, let's look and see how it applies to what we have got over here. We are asked to find the sum of scores. We're asked to find this, and this. So the sum of scores is the simplest one to find. So that would be 3 plus 4 plus 1 plus 2, which gives us 10. All right, but what about number 2? How are we going to find that out? Well, we look to the order of operations. The order of operations says, first, look to see if there's anything in parentheses that has to be done. And sure enough, there is. There is x minus 1. So first we have to do x minus 1 for all of our scores. So 3 minus 1 is 2, 4 minus 1 is 3, 1 minus 1 is 0, 2 minus 1 is 1. And then we go next. Do we have any squaring? No, we don't. Do we have any multiplication or division? No, we don't. Do we have any summation? Yes, we do. We're asked to find the sum of each score minus 1. So we can go back to the numbers that we just calculated and find the sum of them. And the sum is 6. Okay, next we're asked to find this. And we start the same way. Is there anything in parentheses to do? No, there isn't. Is there any squaring? No, there's not. What about multiplication or division? There isn't. What about summation? Yes, we do have a sigma, a summation symbol. It's right here. We look to see what is immediately next to the sigma, and it's an x. That means we need to find the sum of scores. Well, luckily we've already done that. It's 10. And then we look to see if there's any addition or subtraction that has to be done. And of course there is. We are asked to find the sum of scores minus 1. And that is, of course, 10 minus 1, which is 9. And then finally, we are asked to calculate this last one. We once again will look. Is there anything in parentheses? Yes, there is. We're asked x minus 1, which, lucky for us, we've already calculated. What about squaring? Yes, we do have to square. What is immediately before the exponent? It's this. It's x minus 1, which means that we need to square each of our x minus 1 values. So let's start another little column here called, oh, that's kind of messy, sorry, x minus 1 squared. So here we've got 2 squared is 4, 3 squared is 9, 0 squared is 0, and 1 squared is 1. And then finally, we are asked to find the sum of all of these numbers that we just calculated. And the answer is 14. Let's just move this little guy along so that we can have room to write it in. And there we go. And let's just get it in over there. Okay, so we see how the order of operations lets us calculate what would otherwise look like a string of sort of scary symbols and parentheses, but when we break it down, we see that there really is a system. There is a systematic way of approaching all of this, and it's actually not that scary at all.